Well, it's a pretty special day here. This is the first time we've got this 3520 out after all the significant rehab that we've done. We still have some more things to do, but it's a good time to try it out. We've made a lot of changes. Maybe I should review a little bit of the history of what we've done. First, I bought this tractor on sort of an accident. We got a video that you can go check out on that. The bids were coming in. Actually, they stopped coming in at about $8,000. And so I started bidding, and before you know it, everyone else quit. So I ended up with a tractor that I didn't really expect to buy. And
sold at $14,000 to the cameraman.
Decided to have some fun with it after, I kind of got over the initial shock there. And I've started kind of rehabbing it, and I've learned a lot, and I hope you guys have been able to learn a lot through these rehab videos. We've improved the steering. We had a bad spot up here in the roof that my neighbor Chris helped me fix, and look at this. It looks like it's brand new. New fenders. Of course, I've had some mistakes along. You've seen those if you've been watching, but overall, this has been quite an interesting experience for me, and hopefully for you as well. I've really enjoyed it. But today's the day for us to actually use it. We've got the TS10 here on it, and we are at a new tower property that we're going to be maintaining. And yeah, so let's get started with that. So I'll refer to this as tower property number 2, and it's a little over 2 acres. Fescue, it's good fescue here, but not much of it, right? I mean, it's a pretty small property. Around the tower itself is in pretty good shape. There's some vines on the building and stuff. We've got several things we need to do. There's brush piles over here on the other side. I'm not sure how much brush is left in them, so I may kind of back the mower in there and see how close I can get and just see what it looks like today. But mainly, we're going to mow today, and we'll do some of this other work on a later day. Now this fescue is, yeah, it's pretty rank. It's pretty thick out here. I expect this to be a load for the 3520. It's only 37 engine horsepower when it was brand new. Of course, it's got 3,640 hours on it now. So it may not be quite 37 horsepower, who knows. But I think that's going to be a load to pull that 10-foot Flexwing mower in here. It will have to go slow. It's a little hard to figure out how to do those corners. The mower's a long way back there. It takes some practice. I'm pretty sure it'll do a good job cutting. I did just a little bit of sharpening on the blades. I don't want to sharpen much, and I don't want them sharp. It's just that where they'd begin to fold up when they'd hit rocks and stuff, I cut that part where that kind of folds up like that so that it's got a little better edge on it. Overall, the property's in pretty good shape. It just needs mowing. I think it's been cared for in the past. I don't really know the history. Maybe we'll learn more as time goes on. This tower is owned by the same folks that own the tower property behind our house. It's almost an hour away from our house, so it's not nearly as handy for us, but they like the work we've been doing on the tower by us, so they're gonna trust us, at least for a little while, on this one. We'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to leave some of this trimming under the trees until a little bit later. We'll do some of this outside work here. I'm pleased with the power of this little tractor so far. It's doing a great job. I just like how handy it is. So the first thing I have to say is about our cab improvements. I'm really shocked. I'm running at about 78 dB on my little watch here versus 82 dB before the improvements. So I'm very pleased. I don't really know which of our improvements made the difference, but something did. Every time I use this mower, I am thrilled with it. This time's no exception. I love mowing with this mower. It's rough in there. I don't know what's in there yet. Now I can't go too fast. I noticed that I run out of power if I go very fast. But to be honest, that's good for me because I don't need to be mowing very fast anyway. A couple reasons. It does a better job when I go slow, and also there's less risk of me tearing something up. I've raised the mower just a smidge. It looks to me like it's still low enough to do a good job. But I was a little nervous about what I might hit out here. The other thing is I knew that mowing any lower would tax the tractor even more. But I think this is a good mowing height, actually. It looks fine after we've cut it. Uh-oh, I better not scratch this roof.
No.
Okay, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to back into this brush pile, see what it looks like. Oh, there's big stuff in there. I'm not sure how much of it, but there's...
You're flipping your wing.
Yep. It's hard for me to estimate when turning back into the... I keep cutting the corner too close and missing some, but I got it that time. Boy, I really have to exaggerate. I wonder if I can mow this tree here.
Big limb.
Yeah, that needs to be trimmed off. This air conditioner is working fabulous. How's yours?
Mine's not working at all.
Uh-oh. A big dead limb like this one is really bad for scratching windows and paint and stuff. So the green leaves aren't as bad as those big dead limbs. Yeah, this really needs to be trimmed back, or ought to be trimmed back. I don't know if it absolutely has to be done, but the farmer in me would like to see it kept a little closer. My steering wheel is still squeaking. Just now noticed that. So even though I've got no play left in the steering wheel, it's not perfect about the squeak. I may have to lube that a little bit. It's not nearly as bad as it was before. So far, I'm incredibly impressed with the 3520. The steering is a night and day improvement, even with the little bit of squeak I mentioned. The power on the mower is great. The air conditioning is great. The quietness in the cab is much improved. This is nice, Krista. You should get you one.
Oh, yeah. What speed are you going?
1.6 right now. And when I'm taking a full swath, that's about all this tractor wants to handle it. You could travel at a faster speed with a smaller mower, say a single spindle 5 or 6 foot mower. But I wouldn't do as good of a job, and I don't believe I would cover as much overall, because there's areas that are not as heavy like this that I can go right along. I'm going 3 miles per hour now with no issue. So overall, I'm convinced I get more done with this larger mower. it's also a lot more fun. So far, this property has proved to be relatively smooth. It's not a rough ride. Oh, maybe that's why I've got my new air seat. I really didn't plan to say that and rub it in, but I'm sure it does make a difference. Now this will be a real heavy spot here, looks to me like. The tractor will be busy. Yeah, listen to that. This is a great combination. I really enjoy this. There's always a bunch of people that say, why don't you take a full swath? Well, it's not as easy as it looks sometimes. And it doesn't turn right behind you. So a lot of times when I have to overreact like I did there, such that when the mower comes in, it will come in square like that. So that was a little more challenging than it might look. Now, in order to avoid turning the CV joint too short, I swing outward when I make the turn here. And then just miss the bucket. Ha! And even then, I'm right on the edge. I can feel it kind of vibrating and telling me that's a short enough turn. Exaggerate. And then go straight. May have exaggerated too much that time. It's like pulling a trailer with the trailer axle way back there. There's the camera lady.
Out here in the heat.
I don't even have my fan on full speed. I'm running on second speed here, which is pretty amazing for these small tractors. Usually if it's in the upper 80s like it is today, or 90s, you're running that fan full force. So I think our air conditioner improvements have helped. The temperature gauge still looks okay. Now this is really heavy stuff here. I call it fescue, but I'm not sure if it was all fescue or if it's something else. The heads looked a little bit bigger and healthier than a fescue head. Now a lot of this is fescue, Kentucky 31 fescue, but some of that big stuff right there I don't believe is. Right there. Well, we're just about done with the big area here. Maybe look at the deer bed right here. But only one or two more passes here, and then we'll have to get to some of that trimming under those trees. I think while I sit in the air conditioning, Christy will have to get the little saw out and see if she can trim those trees for me. There's the hour meter on the machine, if you can see it. Last little strip. Okay, now we've got to go trim somewhere.
I bet that's easier with a hydrostat.
Yeah, that would be pretty hard with a gear drive going back and forth like this. Changing speeds too, you know. I can go really slowly, maintain full RPM. That's not bad with a 10-foot brush mower. Got one weed sticking up there. Mowing this with Johnny 5 would be a pain. We've talked about the difference between a 4 and a 5 series, or a hydrostatic and a gear drive tractor. My goodness, the turning ability just much nicer with this tractor.
Watch your cab top. Ah!
Oh, I didn't scratch it bad, did I? Sorry, Chris.
Okay.
Let me know when the mower deck is over the top. Is it done?
You're over. You can go down.
Amazing.
Not doing too bad with the trimming here. I don't know if I should go under here or not. I'll reach up and see if I can get that dead.
The limbs are catching your antenna.
Uh-oh. The lesson I learned there was that I have to have the middle of the mower in one of the gaps, because right under the tongue there, I can't pick that up. Can I go down?
Yeah, good girl. Yeah.
Well, I'm hot.
I am now that I'm outside. A cab tractor really does make a difference for this job. You know, so reviewing this job, it was a lot more trimming, I guess, than I thought it would be, but I found that fun and challenging.
Okay.
I'm sure that it could have been done faster with, I don't know, a smaller rig of some sort, but I don't know, a 3-point hitch mower might have been a little bit faster, but They're no fun either, trimming like
The only way I would have seen it being faster if I had brought Vinny to do the trimming and you had mowed the big area with this.
Oh, yeah. The 3520 did an outstanding job.
You probably enjoyed that better than your 3046R with no cab.
I did. And, you know, I didn't intend this to be a cab versus no cab video, but mowing is one time where a cab is dramatically better than not a cab.
Yeah.
There's so many other things we do that's not the case, but boy, mowing when it's hot in the summer and, you know, grass, bugs flying everywhere. Hey, I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I did. Maybe not as much as you did.
Whatever.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture.